So we're just focusing on our breath, right? That inhale, exhale, lean back in a comfortable position for yourself. Maybe a yoga block for a pillow, knees bent if that's more comfortable. Just focusing on that inhale and exhale. Again, whatever type of pranayama, breathing technique works for you, breathing in and out through the nose. Maybe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Use that diaphragm to breathe. That midsection rises and falls as you breathe. Count your breath if that's helpful for you. Hear yourself breathe. Any sort of tension, just think about just letting go of your tension with your exhale. Just let it go, let it exit your body with that exhale. Just deepen the breath a bit more. Bigger inhale, bigger exhale. Maybe even hold the breath briefly after that inhale before the exhale. Just remembering, let go of any expectations, right? So it's a new class, new day, new practice. Let go of any expectations. Let go of any judgment, any competition, right? Just how you're feeling today. Make sure you listen to your body. Always do what feels right for you today. Always make adjustments, modifications if you need to. Use the yoga block if it's helpful. Let's just slowly bend your knees if you don't have your knees bent already. Feet on the floor with your knees bent. Don't forget about your breath. Continue to focus on your breath. Let's go ahead and just sway those knees side to side. Just small ones to start with. And slowly just let those knees go more and more towards the floor if you want. Again, your feet, knees together if you'd like, or feet apart, feet as wide as your mat, whatever feels good for you. open up the hip a bit so those knees kind of spread apart as you go back and forth. And feel free to do maybe a little spinal twist to start out the practice if you want. Letting both knees go to one side. Or if you want to add more to it, you always cross one leg over the other. Right, just cross it completely all the way over and continue side to side. Just adds a little bit of the weight of your leg to it. Just go ahead and switch to the other side. If you're resting both knees to one side, a little spinal twist over to the other side. If you're crossing one leg over the other, just switch to the other leg. Just coming back to center with those knees. And let's just go ahead and inhale one knee to your chest. Exhale, release that knee. Inhale the other knee to the chest. Exhale, release that knee. And you can always extend your leg down the mat if you want, or keep that knee bent. Whatever feels right for you. Just go with your own breath. If you want to hold it a little longer, you can always do that. Maybe extend that leg up in the air too, if you want. As you bring the knee up, extend the leg. The next time you bring a foot back down, just go ahead and bring both knees to your chest. Maybe just a little rock side to side. Just coming back to center here. Let's go ahead and circle those knees in opposite directions. So the knees are just going to circle away from each other, then come back together. Circle away from each other, come back together. go ahead and switch directions. Good. The next time those knees come back together, just keep them there. And then just with your knees together, just make little circles with the knees in one direction. Here. Just start with some small circles. Always make bigger and bigger circles as you go if you want. Let's go ahead and switch directions. So just go ahead and circle those knees in the other direction. Okay, the next time those knees just come back to center, just keep them there, here. And let's just go ahead and pull those knees a bit more to your chest, hands on top of the knees. I like to go underneath my knees, point my knees to my chest. I like to bring my head up to chin to my chest here. I like to just move my head back and forth and warm the neck a little bit, do something like that. Always keep it on the mat though if that's more comfortable. I like to circle my ankles, wiggle my toes a little, wake up my feet. Go ahead and release the knees, head back to the mat here. Just arms, palms by your side, here, palms down, hands by your side. A big inhale, push that low back flat, tilt your pelvis, lift your hips, bridge pose. First one here, not too concerned how high those hips are, just whatever's comfortable here. Good. On the exhale, you just slowly lower those hips back down, roll the back down, and hips back down the mat. Go ahead and bring the knees to the chest again. Again, if you want your head up to if you like that, or not. Move the head around, wiggle the toes, circle the ankles around. Good. Release the head, release the knees. Again, feet to the floor, knees bent here, arms, hands by your sides, palms down. Big inhale, push that low back flat, lift the hips, bridge pose. This time, if you want to try to open up the chest and shoulders, squeezing your shoulder blades together in your back. Always take your hands underneath your hips if you can get them there. If not, you always use the yoga block. Use the glutes too as well. You want to always put those heels together too as well, knees out to the side, doing bridge pose that way too as well as an option. You can always do that as we move with our breath. So you have your hands underneath your hips, just pull off to the side. We'll move with our breath now, so we're going to exhale those hips down, roll the back down. Inhale, knees to chest. Then exhale, release the knees and head, and inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, lower those hips back down. Inhale, use the chest. Exhale, release the knees and head, and inhale, lift the hips. So just going with your own breath here. Raise along the hips, raise along the Bring the knees to the chest. Just go with your breath. Again, you can always take those heels together. Knees out to the side, do a bridge pose that way if you want. Okay, the next time you come up into bridge pose, just hold it there. We'll hold bridge here. And then I've showed you just a little bit more for bridge here. If you want to try a one-legged bridge pose, you can take one leg off the mat here and put that leg straight up in the air, or you can cross it onto your other leg, either one, whichever one feels good for you. You can hold this pose. You can move with your breath, exhale down, inhale back up. Just working one leg at a time, exhale down, inhale back up. If you don't want to do one-legged bridge, you can just continue with two-legged bridge if you'd like. And you can always hold it. You can throw in a little Pilates pump in here if you want. Whenever that one leg gets tired, you can switch to the other leg. Again, move with your breath, hold it up if you want, little Pilates pump it, throw in there if you want to as well. Again, just like to show you a little different way of doing bridge pose here. Good. Whenever you have enough of one-legged bridge, you've done both legs, just go ahead and bring your knees to your chest. Just to maybe stretch out those glutes a little bit, hamstrings. Good, so we'll just go into some core exercises. You can always use your yoga block between the thighs for this one, but just keeping your knees and your feet up here. And just put your hands behind the ears and we'll just go crunching up in old balls. Exhale up, inhale back down. So we're just going to exhale up, inhale back down. Hold it, and come up, before you go back down. Of course, rest anytime you want, right? Rest anytime you want. Put your head back, put your feet on the mat anytime you want. You want to break this up and focus on just your lower abs. Rest your head, Focus on just lifting your hips up off the mat. Okay, just try not to swing your knees and swing your feet. Sit up with those hands and go back, support. And you can go into crunches, feet on the mat, knees bent, hands across the chest or behind the ears to support the head, just lifting your head, shoulders, torso. Pushing that low back flat to the mat though. If you want to add more to this one, just put your legs up in the air. Try to touch the toes, bring your hands out in front of you. Throw that Pilates pump, right? Little ones if you want. Rest after that, or go through the full range of motion after doing the Pilates pump. Of course, rest anytime you want. You can throw in a twist now here, opposite elbow to opposite knee, just pushing that low back flat to the mat. Add more to this one, both feet off the mat at the same time. You can extend the other leg. And just make sure you push your low back flat to the mat though. You can rest anytime you want. Maybe try just one more core exercise. It can be your choice. Anything you like to do, feel free to do it. Just go with your own breath though. Remember, it's not about how many you do, it's how well you do them, the quality over the quantity. So just make sure you go with your breath. But I've showed you something here. You can just extend your opposite arm and play, just like we do on our hands and knees. You know, on your back, just push that low back flat to the mat. More of this one, you extend legs. Again, just make sure if you do any kind of leg raise, you push your low back flat to the mat, right? You don't want a little curve in your low back. That's when it can start bothering your back if you do any kind of leg raise. Do the knees side to side. When you straighten those legs, the harder this one becomes. Good, whenever you have enough, just arms up overhead, extend your legs all the way down to the mat. Just really reach, reach, reach. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Good, then just go ahead and roll over on your stomach onto your mat here. You can just stack your hands and rest your forehead on the backs of your hands here. It doesn't matter which way you're facing. Good, so we'll work up in the locust pose, but I mean, if you want to go there, you can, but I'm just going to inhale up one leg, exhale it down, inhale up the other leg, exhale it down. And then when I inhale, I use my diaphragm, feel that midsection of what air just kind of supports that low back as I lift a leg. And then trying to lift from the hip, keeping the leg relatively straight, helps to point the toe. See if you can lift that leg higher and higher as you go. Good, if that all feels good, we'll move on a little bit more now. Put your arms out in front of you. You can just rest your forehead on the mat. Now when you lift one leg, right leg, and then your left arm comes up, you lift your head, torso comes up a little bit, and then back down. Inhale up, exhale down. So you inhale up and reach out, and exhale back down. And if that all feels pretty good, you want to move on a little bit more now. Full locust pose. You can start with your arms by your sides, palms up or palms down, palms turned in, whatever you want with the hands. Good, now we're going to lift both legs and lift the torso too as well. So inhale up, exhale down. Good, inhale up, exhale down. Again, using the diaphragm, feel that midsection there when you inhale. That's support that midsection when you lift. A really good one for your low back. Maybe your glutes too. You think about squeezing those glutes when you come up. You can do different things with your arms, right? Out to the side if you want. Or the more challenging one that's arms out in front. Here. Completely out in front doing it. I go back because I like the full arms all out to the side. I'll do it. Again, you can do arms all the way out. Or maybe more comfortable with your arms by your shoulders. You can do it that way. You put your hands behind your head and do it. And then we can also hold it, right? Come up and hold. And when I do that, I like to do some different things with my arms just to do something to occupy myself while I'm holding it here. Let's get my shoulders involved. Of course, come down and rest anytime you want, right? Just come down to your mat, rest. And try some more. Again, if full locust pose is too much, you can always go back to one leg at a time, right? Or the opposite arm and leg. Good. How about the next time you come down and rest, just go ahead and push back child's pose. Good. You can always widen the knees if that's more comfortable. Stack your hands, make your fist to rest your forehead, hand your forehead to the mat. Use a yoga block. Widen those knees if it's more comfortable. Good, then just come to your forearms here in child's pose, and we'll just warm up our wrists a little bit here. So just going forward and back a few times with the wrists. Good, then just maybe circling in one direction. Good, other direction. Good, let's open and close the hands a few times. Good. We'll just go ahead and put our hands out in front of the extended child's pose. Bring the fingers nice and wide here. Starfish hands, your forearms and elbows come up off the mat. Again, we're just going to come out of child's pose to a kneeling plank. Right? Kneeling plank. Engage your core. Good, lower yourself slowly to the mat here. Good, coming up, lower high cobra, whatever you like, or if you like Sphinx pose first, I like to do that first, just check out my low back flexibility here. Or some of you can go right into high cobra, right? High cobra. Good, just wherever you are, if you're in Sphinx pose, just get your hands on the mat here and we'll push up and back child's pose. And then we'll just go through this videos here. Kneeling child's pose, kneeling plank. Good, slowly lower yourself down. Lower high cobra, your choice. I do low. Good, push up and back child's pose. Again, plank. Good, lower yourself slowly to the mat. Coming up, lower high cobra, push up and back, child's pose. Again, plank, and then I'll throw in chaturanga here. So you hover and hold it about halfway down, chaturanga here, and then lower slowly, lower high cobra, and then pushing up and back, child's pose. Again, plank, good, chaturanga. Good, up to lower high cobra. Good, pushing up and back. Child's pose. Again, plank. Good, chaturanga. Lower high cobra and pushing up and back. Child's pose. Good, plank. You can always throw in some yoga push-ups, right? Whatever you want. Just chaturanga, back to plank. Throw in some yoga push-ups in there. Work on your upper body strength a little bit here. Yoga can help with your strength. If you can, go back child's pose to rest anytime. You do some yoga push-ups, just go back child's pose to rest. Good, then whenever you want, from your knees, you can go to your feet in downward facing dog. So you can always stay on your knees though, but if you want to go to your feet, again from child's pose, just curl those toes under, really push the hands. And again, start with those Palms of the feet on the mat, knees bent, heels up in the air. Good. Walk the dog. Pushing one heel down then the other. And then pushing both heels down to the mat here, straightening the legs. And try to get your heels to the mat, but it's not, if they don't get to the mat, that's okay. I can't get mine today to the mat. And then just go down dog to full plank if you can. Drop to your knees if you need to though. And then go back to down dog. Just make sure your feet and hands are in about the right spot. You shouldn't have to move them too much. Good, try that again. Down dog to full plank. Good, back to down dog. Good, then down dog to plank. Good, let's go full chaturanga. Drop to your knees if you need to. Always drop to the knees right if you need to. Good, then we can come up upward facing dog if you want, or high cobra. Push up from the knees or from the feet to down dog. And then just going through that vinyasa, right plank. Chaturanga. Up dog or high cobra. Pushing back to down dog. You can try some full yoga push-ups if you can. Back to down dog. You can do different things in down dog, right? You can do some leg raises. Some three-legged down dog here, so just do some leg raises here. Do a few, tap the toe, try the other side. Three-legged down dog, you can come to plank, you bring the knee in between your arms, come back up. Bring the knee to the same elbow, come back up. Bring the knee to the opposite elbow. Come back up. Try the other side. And just some different things you could do with down dog. Could do that one stretch is good. Come bring your leg, bring the leg down dog, bend the knee, and then bring that knee over to the other side. Sometimes feels good. Hold for as long as you like. Turn the other side. Again, bring it up as high as you can. Bend the knee, and then bring it over. Good, I'm just going to stretch a little bit. So we're going to go into crow pose. I showed that last time, but before I do that, I like to do this stretch and actually stretch up my back a little bit before I do crows. So and also kind of the hips a little bit here. So what I'll do is I'll bring my foot 90-degree bend in my knee, in my front and back knee here. Then I try to bring that elbow. So I got my right foot forward. I'm going to try to bring my right elbow towards the inside of that foot down towards the floor. I can't get it to the floor. So what I'll do is I'll put a yoga block, see if I can get to a yoga block. Some of you might be able to reach the floor. That's great. And as I hold it, I can feel it loosen up a little bit more. So I got a 90-degree bend in my front and back knee, but you can then take that foot out a little further or take the knee back further. So you're going to just step out more of like a lunge, a kneeling lunge in doing it here. Something else to do too as well. So I got my right foot, left hand can be on the mat or a yoga block. You guys remember what a twisting lunge was? Remember a twisting lunge? You try that. So you twist towards that front knee, twisting lunge. It'll be on our final quiz, so a little bit of review. I did this with we did the twisting lunge with the sun salutation. So we added it to it. So. And then if you want, you can do a full lunge stretch, which is called lizard pose, where you bring your knee up, and then some of you might be able to rest your forearms on the mat. That's great. I can't do that, but I can get into a yoga block. And then you can try a full twisting lunge if you want. Yeah, if you want to kind of thread the needle through that arm and leg here, and then come back up, and kind of some movement with the twisting lunge, you can do some stuff like that. And then the other side. Again, I start out just kind of 90 here. Yeah, then I'll just take it out a little further. Kneeling twisting lunge, full twisting lunge, you just bring your knee up here. Again, if you want to try the lizard pose, that would be bringing your elbows towards the floor. And then you can do a twisting lunge. Don't worry, lizard is not on the final quiz. Twisting lunges, though, should know what twisting lunges. Then if you want, you can kind of do some movement with it. Good, then you can just come back to your hands and knees here, and we'll try crow. So this is, again, a balancing, and I showed it towards the end of the semester because hopefully we got our wrists stronger from doing lots of planks and down dogs and things. Got our core strong from all those core exercises, involves all that kind of stuff. So, and some flexibility too as well. So what I'll do is just hands and knees. All I'm going to do is just pick my knees up off the floor here, just like that. So knees are up, and then all I'm going to do is just kind of go back and forth, just see what that feels like. Just kind of try to keep the knees close to the ground. So your knees aren't coming up here like that. Your butt's not up in the air. You're trying to keep it low here. And then see if you can just come over the hands and see if you can just kind of hold it there. Right? Because that's going to involve crane. Just kind of hold it there. Okay? See what that feels like? If it's shaky. You can always bring your knees down to rest right any time. Definitely involves the core right there, right? Then what you can do is just bring your legs or your feet up a little closer or hands a little bit back towards your feet and try rocking some more back and forth. Bring the feet in a little closer. Okay? So make sure I emphasize starfish hands, spread your fingers nice and wide here. And I put like the tip of my pinky on the edge of my mat so my hands are fairly wide. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend my elbows out to the side and then I'm going to press my knees into the back of my upper arm. So I'm pressing my knees and then I'm just going to go forward. Just see what that feels like. Just see, can you go forward? Keep your feet on the floor, on the mat. Just go forward.
It's easy to fall.
Just, yes. Just go forward.
Okay.
So we're just going to go forward now. See if you can go forward and just kind of hold and see if you can pick up one foot. And that may be it for you tonight. Or so, like I said, I didn't get this the first time I tried it, so that took me some practice. But yeah, what you do is just take up one foot. Here, hold that, and then see if you can just slowly pick up your other foot and balance. So that's crow.
That's impressive.
You said back to crow?
Crow.
Crow?
Crow. Crow, like the bird crow.
The crow.
I thought the other one was crow.
What's the other one?
That's crane or crow, either one. Crane or crow.
I thought this was like frog.
Show it from the other side. So again, arms are out to the elbows are out to the sides here, and you're really pressing those knees into that upper arm there. And again, I go forward, I lift one foot up off the mat here. Again, slowly just bring that up and see if I can balance. Again, I recommend try this at home.
With a pillow.
Put some pillows, stack of pillows in front of you, right? In case you go forward, you go right into some nice soft pillows. I also recommend going up slowly like I do, just kind of one foot at a time. Don't just all of a sudden try to push yourself up because you'll probably push yourself over. Okay? So again, crow, and then there's another one called crane. Some people call what we just did crane. It doesn't really matter. But just another way of doing it, your hands are a little closer. Again, crow or crane, just balancing on the hands. So crane, your hands are a little closer because your elbows go straight back, and then your knees balance on the back of your upper arm. Okay? I don't like it as much just because my knee starts digging into the back of my upper arm and that starts kind of bothering me here. So again, you're just here like this, and now bend those elbows straight back, and you're going to do the same thing here. So again, one foot, and then crane. Some people can bounce out on that one better.
This one's a little better.
So Some people like it better.
I can't stay there though. I'm gonna fall right now.
It's okay to like, what's good to do is just if you can get this right here is probably the biggest thing right here. Coming right here, and so, oh gosh, am I not going to fall on my head? That's what the main thing you got to make sure you're not going to do. And then what you might do is just stay here and just lift one foot up. Just see if you can do that. And then hopefully eventually you can get that other foot up. Again, I didn't get it the first time. It took me a while.
Think about it like the first time.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Let's go. Nice. Well done. Good. So just when you're done with that, you can just go ahead and lay flat on your stomach on your mat here. Good, so these next ones will be on our final quiz. So if you can't do them, just know what they look like. Again, I can do one-legged bow, but I can't do full bow. So one-legged bow is one leg here, and I can do that, right? So that's a one-legged bow. But a full bow is both legs, right? Both legs behind you, grabbing, and then bringing those leg thighs up a little bit here. So that's, I do side bow. Okay, so that's a little easier on my back. Good stretch for the quad here, okay? But full bow is both legs behind you and you come up, all right? Here, there's some people in class that could do this, right?
Whoa, go back.
So there's full bow, full bow. Good, and you just come up and come back down whenever you'd like, all right? But there's full bow. Again, listen to your body. My low back just does not like this back bend like that, so, all right? Switch sides if you're doing one leg at a time, just switch to the other leg. Again, if you're doing bow pose, just come up and back down whenever you want. Good, let's just go ahead and you can come back down. Go ahead and roll back onto your back here. Bring your knees to your chest. Especially if you did full bow pose, you're going to want to stretch out your low back a little bit. So bring your knees to the chest. Good, then just go ahead and release the knees. Again, here we'll try this one. So this is called kind of reverse bow or upside down bow or wheel pose. So this is another big back bend just going the other way. So bend your knees, feet on the mat with your knees bent. Go ahead and put your hands by your shoulders. Hands by your shoulders with your fingertips pointed towards your shoulders. Okay? And then what you're going to do is just push up with your feet and your hands coming up into wheel pose. Coming up to wheel pose. pose. So that's wheel pose. Okay? Again, my back doesn't like wheel pose, so make sure you listen to your body here. So that's called wheel or upside down bow. Okay?
That's like
Yeah. Okay? So this is, I can't do wheel pose or upside down bow. So what I do, this is my version. So you can point your fingertips towards you here or out to the side, whatever you like. I bend my knees, feet flat on the mat, and then all I'm going to do is lift my hips. Then I do this. So mine's kind of more like it's not a wheel, flat tire, I don't know what you want to call it. Tabletop, I think this is what some people call it. So, and you can just look up here. It's a good one for your glutes, your hamstrings here. So you just try to hold that. You put your head back if that feels okay. So there's a version right there. So that's my wheel pose. Again, whatever you want, the hands pointing towards you, out to the side, whatever you like. Good. Then once you're done with that, a couple more I'd like to show you. So this is going to be good for stretching out the low back. Those that can do full bow pose and wheel pose are going to probably be able to do this one too as well. I'll show modifications though. But if you have the yoga block, just put a yoga block underneath your hips on your sacrum there, on the back of your hips there, that flat bone back there, your sacrum. It's going to stretch out the low back the other way and your neck and everything. So make sure you listen to your body wherever you can. Now what you're going to do is take your feet up off the mat, bringing your knees to your chest. Okay? And that might be it. That might be it. Okay? This could be your version of plow pose. P-L-O-W, plow pose. Okay? And then if you can see if you can lift your hips up off the yoga block. Use your hands here, support your low back. I'm going to keep my knees bent here. So I'm just bringing my hips up, low back supported with my hands. Okay, keeping my knees bent. Some of you might be able to take those feet and extend them up over your head. All the way up over your head. So your feet are touching the mat or the floor over your head. And that's called plow pose. P-L-O-W, plow. Full plow pose. Not shoulder stand yet, just do plow pose. Put your feet over the head, if you can, feet over your head, touching the floor, and that is going to be called plow. And just support your low back with your hands. There you go. So that's called plow, P-L-O-W. Again, if you can't get your feet up over your head, you can just keep your knees bent. It's much easier that way. Much less stress on the low back and neck. Should be able to breathe okay, right? Not cutting off any oxygen. We don't want that, right? Okay, so, because it could be a strain on the neck a little bit. So make sure you listen to your body. Again, do what you can, okay? Good, it helps to support that low back with your hands on your low back. Okay. And then if you can do plow pose, you might want to try shoulder stand. So this is an inversion pose. What you do is bend your knees first. Just bend your knees. Feet up over your hips. And then just straighten your legs. Just go ahead and straighten your legs straight up in the air. Straighten your legs straight. There you go. Shoulder stand. Shoulder stand. Okay? Try to get those feet above your hips, not over your head. Okay, that's shoulder stand. Shoulder stand. Try to push those hips up as high as you can. Good, so this is an inversion pose. Again, the blood rushes to your head. Some people really like these inversion poses, another type of pose in yoga. Okay? If you're not able to get shoulder stand, but you want to put your legs up in the air, you can just rest your hips on your yoga block and just put your legs straight up. Okay? And actually a restorative type yoga pose is putting your feet up a wall. So if we didn't have all the mirrors, you could just go up against the wall and put your feet up the wall. Okay? You're gonna put your butt up right up against your wall there, put your feet straight up. That's kind of a good, nice pose. Oh yeah, you could use this right here. Good, so you can just put your feet straight up here. Good, coming out of shoulder stand, you just want to bend your knees, and slowly roll your back down. Slowly roll your back down. Good. Again, make sure you listen to your body here when you use, right? Good, so I showed you one more. This is more kind of a relaxing type restorative, especially when we do it supported. But here, you're just going to come up onto the forearms here. You might want a yoga block behind you, just to support your head. Okay? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to tuck your hands underneath your hips here. And I'm on my forearms. I'm going to point my toes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of lift my chest. I lift my chest and I bring my shoulders back. I'm opening up my chest and shoulders here, lifting, and then I'm going to lift my chin. Don't just crank your head back. Lift your chin. Listen to your body. Listen to your neck. How far back do you want to go? This is about how far back I can go. Some of you might be able to go all the way down, touch your head to the mat, or a yoga block. If you got a yoga block, you can throw a pillow back there. Could be something good too as well. My head is about, or my chin just wants to go back this far. I'm looking just straight up at the ceiling. That's about as far back as I want to go. And if that doesn't feel good, you can just look straight ahead. But still try to open up the chest and shoulders. You can just look straight ahead. So this is called fish pose, fish. Yep. That's how you do it. You want a yoga block so you can. You got one?
My head, right?
Is it touching?
My butt is. My hair is.
Yeah, so you want to make sure you're touching. So you get a yoga block.
I'll break my neck.
So you want to kind of support that head. Your head should not just be hanging there. So again, fish. Yep. Fish pose. And then a really comfortable one is supported fish. Supported fish. So I showed this last time, and I definitely recommend a softer yoga block. Softer yoga block. And then if you had like a pillow, or they call them bolsters, or a blanket or something at home you can use. But I'm going to use the soft one, and then I'm going to use a yoga block for my head, a thinner yoga block here for my head. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay that yoga block kind of lengthwise, and then I'm going to find it on my upper back here. Good. And then I'm going to bring my head back to my yoga block, and then I'm just going to put my arms out here like this. And that feel good. And that's called supported fish. I think I like the smaller yoga block on my back. Oh yeah. And at home you use a blanket, towel, something to support your upper back and then your head. Supported fish. And then you can add something to this. Student this morning actually, you can do now a butterfly with your legs if you wanted to try something like that too as well. So. So this is what we call restorative yoga, restorative poses, where you get like really comfortable and just try to really relax here in the pose, using some yoga blocks or some aid like pillows or blankets or bolsters or something like that. here, you just extend your legs all the way out. Final relaxation, corpse pose. Continue with those yoga blocks if you want, or take them out if it's more comfortable. Use it for a pillow, but if you want to take it from your mid-back there, you can take it out all the way down to your mat for and final relaxation, corpse pose, shavasana, just getting back to your breath, letting yourself completely relax, letting yourself sink into your mat here. Slowly just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Just going through and touching your fingertips to your thumb, just back and forth through your fingers, just to your thumb. Just rolling your wrists around, ankles around a little bit. Good, just rocking your head side to side, nice and slow. Good, and just whenever you're ready, just rolling over onto your side, whatever side you prefer. Supporting the head with your arm or yoga block, whatever's comfortable there. And just like to remind you to take a moment here, really try to take it in, take in how you're feeling at this time. See if you can just try to grasp a hold of this feeling, keep it with you on throughout the rest of your day, evening. Whenever you feel like you got a hold of that feeling, just pushing yourself up into a seated position, whatever's comfortable. Good, just sit up nice and tall here. Big inhale up. Good, exhale down. Good, big inhale up. Exhale down. Good, big inhale up. Exhale down. Good, one more time. Big inhale up. Exhale. Always thank you for joining me in for your yoga class here. Let me lead it. Have a good rest of your day, evening, week, and we'll see you next Monday. Namaste.